Good morning and welcome to the show, and thanks for waking up with us today. Today we're waking up with Bob Fowler from Marine Max here on Panama City Beach. Bob, thank you for coming in.
Good morning, Don.
Yeah, usually I
Good
go
to
out
see
to
you
you
as
guys,
always.
but
Yeah.
you're coming in.
This is great.
Because you guys have got some great classes going on there.
We do.
And some events, too.
We've got a lot of things happening at the dealership, as you know, but tomorrow is a very special day. First of all, we have the boat safety class by the United States Coast Guard Auxiliary. And there still is time to register for that class. It's a class that normally takes several weeks, but they do it all in one day. It's a certified class, so those who register and participate in the class, it's a $35 charge, any extra family members additional 20, but that includes all your class material, certification, and lunch and beverages and snacks through the day. It starts at 8:30. They need to get there if they want to come. They need to get there no later than 8:15.
Can we just show up, or do we have to register?
Yeah, they can show up. We'd rather them register, but they can show up if they'd like. And they're not prepared to take a credit card, but they'll take a personal check or cash. And it is a great course. And with that certification, the certification, first of all, it's rules of the waterways. I mean, it's just. If
That's
it was
a
up
huge
to us,
benefit,
if it's up to us, we would prefer that everybody that's ever gone out on a boat will take this course.
You see some crazy things going on out there.
Exactly. I see it almost every day if I'm out on the water. And it's very apparent they never took this class. Okay. But it also, with that certification, you can get a very good discount with your boat insurance. So we've seen anywhere from 10 to 30%. That companies will give, because you know safety is the key, and the more safe you are and the more things you understand about that and being out of the boat, the more fun you're going to have.
Yep.
So so I did want to bring that in, that they still have time, the listeners and watchers, that if they want to attend that class.
And when's the class again?
Starts at 8:30 tomorrow morning.
Okay.
And they need to be at our dealership no later than 8:15.
Okay, Saturday morning.
Saturday morning.
Okay.
And then we're having our annual Sea Ray Demo Day. The same day, starts from 10 until 3. This gives an opportunity for folks who have never been on a Sea Ray.
And they are beautiful boats, and I have been on one. Yeah.
Sea Rays have led the industry for many years, over 40 years. And I got a great reminder yesterday. I was doing some brokerage work and giving a report to one of my owners of a brokerage boat. Sea Ray has been 10 to 1. More than 10 to 1 on search patterns by internet. People looking for boats, they go to Sea Ray. Looking for a Sea Ray, more than 10 to 1 of any other boat.
Well, it's just a well-known brand.
It stands for quality, efficiency. They're ahead of the wave as far as innovation. There are a lot of things that Sea Ray brings to the to the business and to the boating community.
So if we go out tomorrow, what are we going to see in the way of Sea Rays?
We're going to have a 270 Sun Deck in the water. We're going to have a 270 SLX in the water.
And what does that mean to the layman?
Well, the 270 Sun Deck is a sunset red. It's a beautiful boat. It's a little bit different configuration than the SLX. The Sun Deck has a 350 mag motor in it. It's going to go 45.
That's inboard?
It's inboard, outboard, stern drive, Bravo 3 outdrive. And then the SLX, a little more sleek, a little more sporty. It's got the 8.1, and that boat will do 55, 60. It's yeah. So those two boats have been in the water.
And that's also inboard, outboard as well?
Inboard, outboard. We will have a Sea Ray 220 Sun Deck outboard, which is a new boat to the industry in the last year. Great popularity. You've got a lot more room where the inboard motor would be. That now is all storage. And you have the great Verado outboard, which you remember on the outboards, on the fishing boats, and just unbelievable motor. So that'll be in the water. Let me think.
Well, you're gonna suffice it to say you're gonna have a whole array.
Yeah, and it's free. We're not.
And all we need to do is show up. Right?
Normally, we have to have a deposit and an agreement of intent to take people out on the boat, because there's a lot of expense to do that. But this is the one time a year that if people come, we're going to give them a ride on the Sea Ray, and they're going to have that experience.
This sounds like a great opportunity for people to really get a good look.
We want to invite everybody that can come.
Saturday, June 6th. At what time?
Starts at 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
Until 3.
At Marine Max on Panama City Beach, which is right by the Treasure Island Marina right there.
Right.
Go out there and see. We've got to run off to the local weather, but thanks so much
Yeah,
for coming
man.
on the show, my
Good
friend.
to see you, Don, as always.
And good luck
All
with
right.
those boats.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back after your Waking Up with Don weather. Welcome back to the show. I'm here with Alan Graham from Counts Real Estate. We're going to talk about the importance of real estate to the local economy. Welcome back to the show, Alan.
Thanks, Don. Good to see you.
Good to be seen. How important is real estate to the local economy? I know that's kind of an obvious question, but it's quite different than, say, maybe other sectors of the economy, isn't it?
Right. Some of the features of real estate and what it generates in the community, a lot of people just see a real estate salesman as a used car salesman. You know, and they don't think about what it takes and what part in the process of a real estate sale that agent is playing. Real estate sales or home sales happen to be the best economic indicator for how well a community's doing.
That's really like the tip of the iceberg for a whole bunch of different vocations that go into that.
Let's walk through the example of a developer decides to buy a large piece of property. Okay. He has to hire a local engineering firm to lay out a subdivision. He has to hire a land development company to come in and pave the roads, put the utilities in. Then contractors have to come in and get permits to build houses. They have to hire concrete, electrical, carpenters, roofers, and so all of those trades are affected. Swimming pool, fence building, surveyors.
Man, that's a lot of people.
And the thing is, you can't import those people for the most part. Some companies do import those type workers for a large commercial development, but most of those workers are local trades here, so those dollars turn over several times in the community. And so anytime that we get a housing boom, there's going to be an economic spurt in our community that really contributes a lot.
Yeah, so real estate really keeps an economy humming along, and also it's a good economic indicator too of the health of the economy in general, like housing starts and housing sales. When people are doing well, they're buying and selling and building, aren't they?
Well, that typically means that jobs are available because you have to have a job to get a loan. You have to have been in that job for a year or so to be able to provide a trail of W-2s to the banker to provide how well you've saved your money. A residential home is probably the largest investment that most people will make, and it's also most people's retirement. So you hope to have that house paid off within 15 to 20 years, which will provide you with equity. You can finance them for 30. Today you can even finance them for 40 years.
Wow.
And so, but you'd hope to get it paid off long before then, and then you can use that equity as part of your retirement when you get ready to retire.
Yeah, that's it. And you're so right when you talk about it being the largest investment most normal people make. I mean, if you're a millionaire or something, you probably got other things going on. But for typical working folks, I mean, that is your primary investment, you know, and then who knows what the next one is, maybe an IRA or something like that. Now, if somebody's a first-time home buyer, you know, how hard is it for them to break into the market nowadays?
Today, first-time home buyers are relatively easy, but there's some things that they've got to hear. They've got to have a down payment. I know that when I bought my first home, I had to have a down payment of 10%. Today, that would almost be scandalous because people would say 10%, but the lenders are wanting you to have an investment in the property that you're going to buy. They don't want that property back, and they want you sweating as much as they are about lending the money. So you could actually have a FHA at 3.5%, or you could have a conventional at putting down 10 or 15% down. The reason you want to put more money down is you don't want to have to pay that primary mortgage insurance policy.
Right.
That typically runs about $60 a month. And what that does, it says if you fail on making that mortgage payment, there's an insurance policy in place that will step in and pay that for you.
Yeah, you don't want to pay what they call PMI, I guess.
PMI.
And just getting rid of that and not having that is it's more of your money that'll go toward your equity.
You can purchase a larger home. You can make a smaller home nicer. It allows you to spend some of your disposable income towards other things besides maintaining that house payment.
I know when we first started, you know, we bought a house and we had to have PMI on it, and then we got to a point where we could refinance and got rid of the PMI, and we started making extra mortgage payments toward that house. I mean,
That's a wise financial decision, and that's something that I typically coach people in, that I want to either avoid that, or as soon as their equity builds up enough to where their home is beyond that 20% mark that we're looking for, that they can go back and have that dropped.
But get in, I guess, is probably some good advice. Get into that home market. If you're a young couple out there, find a way to do it, and just make sure you can handle it.
That's exactly right.
Alan Graham, wise advice as always. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks, Don.
And we'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. I'm here with Allison Smith from Herb Effects Landscape Management and Pest Control.
Yes, sir.
And you brought some of your little friends with you
I
today.
I did. You know, this is the time of year where you go, even the grocery store has plants out now. All your big box stores, all of your nurseries, you know, everybody has plants. And I get asked all the time, what is a basic just plant I can put that doesn't need a lot of work? But here's some annuals. Everybody sells these. They're kind of the unsung heroes.
The unsung heroes.
The overlooked, plants. So
Now, the difference between an annual and a perennial is what?
an annual goes from seed and it to a mature plant and reseeds itself in one season.
And then it just kind of goes away.
Most of the time they will die out. Now in our climate, doesn't always happen. They actually will perennialize.
So annuals you should probably plant every year. Is that what people typically do?
Yeah, that's the thing. And they're usually inexpensive. I mean, these are $1 a piece. So you put some out, put them in pots, whatever, and you know that they probably won't make it once frost gets on them.
And
or whatever.
perennials just come back year after year.
Perennials they actually will, the technical term, they do the same with annuals. It takes them 2 to 3 years to get to where they're mature to reseed.
I see.
So it takes them, and most perennials actually like to go dormant. A lot of people move here from other parts of the country and, you know, around the South, and they bring their perennials with them, and they don't do as well. And they say, well, it gets just as hot where I came from. What happened? Most true perennials want to go completely dormant in the winter, and we don't always get cold enough for them to do that, and they struggle the rest of the next year. So, but these are just a couple basics. This is coleus, and these are all the same plant. Coleus comes in many, many shapes, colors. They're all leafy and they're colorful, full sun. Some will say part shade, so check your tag. Some varieties can take deeper shade than others. Most can take full sun. And they're really easy to not only grow, because that's it. They do flower, but you actually don't want them to.
I really like the coleus though, because they come in different colors. Will they change colors at all, or is this one always going to be red?
It's always going to be red. Now, as it gets more mature, or maybe in brighter sun, this may have been grown in a greenhouse where it's kind of partly shaded. You may see it kind of fade out a little bit, but that's typical. And you may buy a flat with the exact same color, and as they grow and come back, you may have different ones. Like this actually has some mixed in it.
Yeah, look at that guy. He's got a little.
And they're actually
little green guy kind of trying to sneak out here.
And this one has a little maroon guy trying to seed in.
Yeah, isn't that odd?
And they're actually really easy to reproduce, because if you like them, you don't want them to go to seed. They actually, once they start flowering and seed, they tend to get kind of leggy. So you want to keep them tight. You just pinch it out.
That's it.
Like that.
Wow.
And the easy thing about coleus, what's fun, is you can stick this in a little bit of water. It'll root itself in a week.
Oh, no kidding.
And then you have more. But again, you don't want to just want to pop that off. They're really, really easy to do that with. And they're great. They do good in baskets. There's actually a couple of trailing varieties you can find. So put in a basket and it'll just hang over the sides.
Oh, really?
They look good mixed with other plants in containers to get a little pop.
So you could do like a little arrangement.
You can do little arrangements.
Okay, how about
There you
that?
see.
I'm
There
getting
you go. You're
creative
getting
already.
creative. There you go.
How's that look?
Yeah, that's great. This guy that you just picked up, he is actually vinca. And
vinca?
It's a vinca. There are two types of vinca.
Yeah.
This one is the one that flowers, vinca. There is a vinca that is just a ground cover, but this is the one you see. Everybody sells vinca, and it's really funny. Vinca will actually, some varieties will seed itself. So you may think, oh, it died out in the freeze, it's all gone, and then next year it comes right back up from the ground. Not always. It's almost like if they get in the perfect spot, you almost can't kill them. They come back every single year.
But they do well in this
They do
climate.
well. You want to, when you plant them, you want to make sure you space these guys out pretty well. The only thing you may get with vinca, you may have to put a little fungicide on in the heat of the summer. Other than that, they are low fertilizer needs, a little Miracle Grow, whatever you have at your house. These guys are super, super hardy, and everybody has them.
Allison Smith, thank you so much for getting us smart on easy annuals like this. And that's Herb Effects Landscape Management and Pest Control out on Panama City Beach.
238-1200.
All right, we'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. I'm here with Wilma Wilson and Nikki Escuela from St. John's Catholic School here in Panama City. Ladies, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Absolutely.
Good to see you again. I know you are the principal of St. John's Catholic School. And Nikki, you are the preschool director out there as well.
Yes.
So that's awesome stuff. Now, I'm a little biased. My son went to St. John's, so I'm kind of a fan of St. John's. He may not be, but I am. You know? I mean, because you guys have an educational experience that's a lot different from what you get here locally, don't you?
We do. We'd like to think it's pretty rigorous, and like I had said on a previous show, that we really take in consideration the parents also and the needs at home. We understand everyone's busy.
Yep.
However, we want to maintain that academic rigor across the board.
Which has actually paid off. For my son, who I always say, I get to brag, a bragging moment here, you know, who's in his junior year at the Naval Academy.
Fantastic.
I think he learned his study skills, you know, at St. John's, you know, in kindergarten at St. John's.
Yeah, we start them young. I
Yeah.
mean, we have a high expectation for each of our students, and you know, I think throughout the week, the teachers really work together to make sure that they're not just loading it on, you know, but that it actually is pertinent to what they're learning in the classroom.
Yeah, and you guys do load it up.
Yeah.
And you start early
We
too,
start
don't you, Nikki?
very early.
I mean, do preschoolers get homework?
Yes, at least once
Yeah.
a week they're getting homework.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I remember my son in the primary grades was coming home with hours of homework, which turned into a family effort, actually.
It does, and we really highly emphasize on family involvement. It's very important. But we actually start our program at K3 now, and we go through 8th grade, and so we start them at 3 years old.
Wow.
And it's actually an academically driven program at 3. So
So it's never really too early
No,
to start
it's
those
not.
study
No.
habits.
you'd be surprised how well they actually absorb the information at that age.
And you know, we've started to learn, my son has learned, it's not about being brilliant, it's about being a hard worker.
Right.
It's about putting
Absolutely.
the time into it to learn and to excel.
Well, and I think you have to have the realization that every child learns differently, and that, you know, you may have a child who academically can soar above and beyond, and it's really about bringing each child to their own max as far as ability is concerned.
Yeah, now we have to run off to a break here in just a few seconds. But on the other side of that, I want to talk about something that's happening this week that's really cool, and that's Amy Grant.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're really
St. John's is
excited.
sponsoring an Amy
Absolutely.
Grant concert. How cool is that?
This is our 4th annual Hope.
Hope and Faith concert.
Hope and
I
Faith.
knew I was going to get that wrong. I've practiced it 5
Or is
times.
it Faith and Hope? Yeah.
But it's a benefit concert that we have yearly, and this year we are excited to have Amy Grant come out and perform for us. It will be tomorrow night at 7:30. There's still plenty of time to
Marina
get your
Civic
tickets.
Center,
Yes,
yeah.
contact the Marina Civic Center, and they'd be happy to help with the purchase of tickets.
Okay, we got to run off to a break, and we're going to talk more about Amy Grant and more about St. John's
Wonderful, thank
on the
you.
other side of this break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. I'm here with Wilma Wilson and Nikki Escuela from St. John's Catholic School. And Nikki Escuela, Escuela means school in Spanish. How crazy is that?
I
And you work
know.
out of school, in
I
preschool.
know, it's appropriate.
How do you say preschool in Spanish? I don't know. But you've got this Amy Grant concert
We
coming up
do.
on Friday night. I mean, how cool is that? And you've got some wonderful sponsors and parishioners that are helping to bring Amy Grant to the Marina Civic Center.
Yes, absolutely. Our big presenting sponsors are Coastal OBGYN and Eastern Shipbuilding and Perry and Young, which we're really excited about. This is our 4th year. The concert keeps getting bigger and better.
Yeah.
So we're just excited to have Amy Grant.
Yeah, and those sponsors, who are also
Yeah.
parishioners there,
Absolutely.
have been pretty steady sponsors year after year, haven't they?
Yes, yes, we couldn't do it without our supporters. So
Wow.
Awesome.
So if you believe in the mission of St. John's Catholic School,
Absolutely.
you know, go to those people, give them some props. If you need a ship built, you know where to go.
Yeah.
I don't this week, but who knows? Someday I may want to build one. Who knows? But that's awesome stuff. And again, St. John's is just a wonderful school and a wonderful little parish. We went there for many, many years until we moved, you know, up to another part of the county. But it's a wonderful parish. And I got to tell you, it has really paid dividends for my son.
Wonderful.
And it's never too early to start working hard.
Absolutely.
You're
not.
absolutely right.
Yeah.
Well, we actually are accepting enrollment right now, all through the summer. So if you're interested, if anyone's interested, please give us a call or look on our website to see what we have as far as offerings are concerned.
Just Google up St. John's Catholic School in Panama City, and your kid too can be a huge success.
That's right.
That's
And if you want to go to the Amy Grant concert, just go to Marina Civic Center and get all the details there.
That's
right.
correct.
Ladies, thank you so much
Thank
for
you
everything
so
you do
much.
with our children, and thanks for bringing Amy Grant to town.
Yes.
And good luck with the concert.
Thank you.
And that'll be it for this show, and I'll see you next time.